Hello, my family. This na Baba share the people independent political offender with the program do don clean.
Say we end on time. So, as usual, we will start with we updates across government before I introduce my panelists the way they today. We go for can talk about accountability and transparency across government, because we know say part of what in president don't say now that for make we country develop fine one, we always get for make sure say we do everything we can for make accountability and transparency be waiting then call we guide in touch. So now I make today we get people from different government agency we can talk to we about the work that they do across government. Don't they do for the past 1 week since we left here. Now we all know say on Thursday, the 18th January, the president be addressed the country where he talked to we with a message where don't they continue for over many years about peace, consolidation, about unity, and particularly upon this message, President talk say we as citizens them we for build bridges and not for create walls, and we for also celebrate with differences and find strength for make we able share waiting our common aspiration. And a call we all for make we continue for work together and forge a path so we go able make sure say Salone become prosperous, and for make sure say everybody become a stakeholder for we country in progress and process.
Hello, my family. This na Baba share the people independent political offender with the program do don clean.
Jets up music, this program from you. It is a
Also on Friday, 19 January, the president also signed into law the new Finance Act 2024, where Parliament been done pass. And this Finance Act get boku what they call fiscal provisions there for enhanced revenue mobilization. On Thursday, the 18th again, Parliament also passed into law the enact the National Monitoring and Evaluation Agency Act 2024. This act, when passed, it make provision for me to establish the National Monitoring and Evaluation Agency, will go be semi-autonomous body for ensure say greater accountability and transparency in the for how they disburse and use una money them when they refer to where practice go refer to as public funds, and also for provide efficiency and effectiveness on how we deliver programs and projects we go benefit ordinary people. Also on the 19th, the Minister of Information and Civic Education, when Chain or EBA, they also meet with the resident coordinator for the UN Salon, when Madam Seraphine Wakana. And in that meeting, they then discuss boku issues them, we relate to public information, civic education, data protection, and other policy them. On Tuesday, the 16th, UNFPA, then country representative na Salon, Nadia Rashid, and the First Lady will also get engagement where they go discuss body rights campaign and address boku issues them we get for do with online shaming where they direct to woman and girl picking them. Also, na Putloko on the 17th of January, the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, they continue their year-long campaign for Explore and Discover Tourism. And then they embark on assessments of some island and touristic sites there within Kafobulom, Chiefdom, na Putloko district. Also, make I end with one announcement. The Sierra Leone Integrated and Resilient Urban Mobility Project. SLIOM, we no say obviously the boss them, I don't see the boss them we don't get. We in a World Bank project, we World Bank they work with the government of Sierra Leone. Then say from Monday the 29th January, then go and get for officially launch. Then brand new high quality bus the way we don't carry it na Salon for support the public transport operations. Now, after President's launch, they do 3-day test drive. Una listen, no. 3 days they do test drive. We mean say then go get free bus trip. Free bus trip from the 30th of January to the 1st of February, where it starts each day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. So that means they do free bus trip. Then new bus there will come after presidential launch. Any side where you want for use for go with them, go be free. Now, it's also important for me to know say that the bus then call a Waka Fine. Then they use 2 corridors then. Then get the East Corridor where they start from bus station at Wallace Johnson Street to Calbatong. And then get the West Corridor where now from the same bus station to Lumley. And when they get for starts the full operations, you can go begin take payment on the 2nd of February 2024. Then we all for no say back for make them work fine one. They don't set up what they call the Metro Transport Limited Company. This company are the shareholders that we did it. Now the Motor Drivers Union and the Poda and Bus Owners Association, the Keke Union and Bus Riders Union, the members them. Now then get for form what they call the shareholders them and this company where then will be regulated by the Sierra Leone Public Transport Authority within then 2 corridors. So now the announcement that they will get and the updates across government, we will go now straight to waiting we there for today. Like I said earlier, today we can discuss about the facts where President Bill don't take from 2018 where he come on accountability and transparency across governance. And we look at the progress we don't make so far and waiting at the challenges. And when I know say for me to talk this talk, fine one. Nobody not in the position where don't demonstrate for the past more than 5 years the competence, the integrity, the credibility for take this fight, not to only first we're in office, but also it don't carry the people them along. And I go on for first introduce the People's Commissioner, Francis Ben Kelfala, we now the Commissioner for Anti-Corruption Commission, we go can help we for can discuss with you there for today. Also, government we don't sign up 10 years ago. Then begin one letter say they want join what they call open government partnership. Where OGP, the coordinator where they, then you work now for make sure say government and the people them, the civic society, let trust they. And that trust they for make you get them, then get commitments them where government be don't sign up to. But forget the OGP coordinator, where OGP don't the part of NACID, when the National Council for Civic Education and Democracy. And the woman, we don't lead this process. We don't make sure say this process very credible. We don't do boku work. That woman de na Anna Amida Jimmy, we got for can talk to it today on waiting the OGP there about, waiting at them commitment there, waiting they do so far. Then we get another possibility with we when we border. We also don't do boku work, na experts, na professional, na possible, very, very credible in this country. Where don't they map before financial intelligence units, what they call the FIU. We don't work with banks for make sure say any money we can any money we get for go, or the banking system will make sure say it's transparent. Nobody use here for play, you keep our money business. So now make we discuss this talk today. We also get where they lead this FET for get transparency, accountability, and the financial thing the way they happen in the country. And then Mr. David Bobo, we also get for can talk to we about what thing they do, what's progress they don't make so far, and also talk about big issues the way I don't deal with and some of the challenges. So, as usual, the panelists them, with the exception of the post we can normally be we lead panelists who can give more time. We can give a lead panelist them, Francis, 7 minutes for talk generally, because I know say if you want to talk about the achievement that we don't make so far. In fact, we're going to give you some press conference then for the next 2 years. Because them beaucoup. But then we go one for make you able to tell we for summarize so far waiting the ACC don't achieve, what you don't they do, and then waiting how you plans them ahead. Because obviously we know say this now is second mandate, now a new mandate president don't get. Or no say you go also get new vision how you want for take the ACC move forward. And then we'll come out to Francis, we'll come to Anna and David for also talk to me about which one are respective agencies that they do. 5 minutes before open to questions that we don't send to we already. We don't start from online, and then we come to people that we they are today for can listen to we. So Francis, over to you, the People's Commissioner.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Sandy, for that introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. When I want to talk to Mr. Sandy, not take very good care of Una. Anyway, he's a very good minister. They are doing well in the Ministry of Information. And as you know, we in our ACC usually can get with your press conference. But like you always say, ACC not they operate in a vacuum. They operate within the framework of the governance architecture of Sierra Leone, even though we're independent by the laws, would they also collaborate? One of that collaboration we would get, and for make sure we work with the Ministry of Education, because now all part of government business. And we're very happy today for being part of this press conference, for presenting our issues, for listening to our concerns, and for generally, for make we all hang together as a country, or know whose side the fight against corruption they had. So as Mr. Sandy don't say, generally, if you can remember in 2018, when they appointed me as anti-corruption commissioner, one of the promises what I've been saying, and that will not fight corruption in hiding. Because along the way, I've come across a powerful anti-graft boss once in South Africa, Gulelani Nguka. Some of you don't remember his name. But Nguka was a leader of the Anti-Corruption Commission, or the version of it in South Africa. But Nguka defied corruption by basically getting people in hiding, and not only when the evidence don't really overwhelming at the time now it come out. What thing happened to Nguka is, because the public not be aware of the work they do, the politicians them, the very corrupt people them, be they raise the sentiments of the public against the work they do before the findings come out. So much so that at the end of the day, Nguka lost in job because the political opponents them overpower them. The corrupt people they overpower them. So maybe they already learned this lesson from Gulelani Nguka in South Africa. And as a result of that, you know, they fight corruption in hiding. So, like we don't come out today, any question when I get to ask. But probably before I even ask, me go don't tell you waiting there for happen. Because we know they fight corruption in hiding in Sierra Leone. And President Bio don't give you that platform. He don't give you that mandate. He don't give you that enabling environment for make we able to do so. Now they make we commend waiting and they do, or bring the message there to the people. Even though we get our own press conference tomorrow where we will go in more detail on some of the issues there, we are today for clarify. But more generally, the fight against corruption in Sierra Leone built on 4 pillars. The 4 pillars of the fight against corruption: investigation, prosecution, public education, and prevention. All of them don't they go together since I take over as commissioner, with none being subordinated to the other. So we aggressively educate the public, and also we investigate and prosecute, but at the same time we take steps for prevent, for backstop, so that the country not go back to USA every day. And in doing that, when we investigate a case, the outcome get them 3 pillars there in mind. There are times where we can decide, say, okay, this issue here is such that preventive measures they will take. We will do something for prevent corruption, either from continuing, or from starting, or from being taken forward. But also times and days where they say, okay, this one let we investigate criminally. And when we investigate criminally, the outcome get 3 directions. One, we can decide by law or caution the person, or buy them for make it behave himself, and not continue for do that criminal act again. So that the next time we do them, we can take action against them. The other process is for charge them to court. We charge them to court or make it be accountable for what it do before an impartial body when at the judiciary. The third one we can do, we call them the out-of-court settlement, where the law empower we for sit down with the person and say, look, Mr. or Madam, you have done wrong. And this wrong what you do is so serious that we get 2 options. One, we can charge you to court now. Or if we not charge you to court, because the judiciary overwhelmed, because we get so many cases already proceeding before the judiciary, and sometimes they take long, or because even we say we own capacity is so stretched that we can't have 200 cases going on in court, we are not going to charge you, but bring every money you have stolen back to us. And then, in addition, the law give you the option for tell you, say, 1, you cannot hold public office again for a minimum of 3 years, or when they come back with that money, you fork with interest. So that is another lawful means for make we do we job, and then we act. So these are the mentions, and throughout these 5 years, we don't apply all the measures there with the backstop there with massive public education and prevention drive where they go to their offices there, where they check their systems, processes. We recommend policy considerations there where they for reform. And after we recommend policy considerations there where they for reform, we monitor for make sure say that and then put them in place so that that office they not become corrupt, what we call corruption risk assessment. So we do all that things there massively over the past 5 to 6 years. And therefore, as we do them, other people and the way they rate work. International bodies, local bodies, they are there. They all work now for sit down no more and check how salon they behave. And we can take a few of them because the Boku will not go take all of them. But the one they will do, the PFM consortium, when a salon people them. A consortium of public management and finance. Then we set up, the British then give them money, they say, when I go check how corruption fed they go na salon. When they check, indeed, they confirm say bribery remains a challenge. But the country, they do a lot of great things in the fight against corruption, where don't make public confidence in the fight against corruption don't improve, and even generally corruption prevalence don't reduce. That's not at the local level. At the international level, we know the Afrobarometer began measure corruption prevalence in Sierra Leone in 2015. And the conclusion was that corruption prevalence in Sierra Leone was as high as 70%. Extremely high. But then same people then come back in 2019 for can check after where President Bio was elected president, me become commissioner, working with the team in the Anti-Corruption Commission, and also collaborating with every other person, the government and the people of Sierra Leone, and confirm say corruption prevalence in Sierra Leone don't reduce from 70% to 40%. That is a massive drop. It's a massive drop. So we not say corruption we don't end, but for say corruption don't reduce, an independent body talks say corruption prevalence don't reduce by 70%, it means we put in conscientious effort and there was a result. Of course, we also know about the MCC. In 2017, Salon be the failure. 49% now we get. 49% in school, now failure. Fail, E. Since President Bio became president in 2018 and empowered the Commission for Fight Corruption, Salon don't pass the MCC scorecard consistently for 6 years in a row, year in, year out, every year above 70%. If you begin to go to school, you get 49%. Then you go get this teacher for study and a host. And this teacher had to study and that beginning they will be they get 49%, now they get 70%. After it gets 71%, later it gets 79%, later it get 81%, later it get 83%. Another time so on average, each year it perform above 70 years. Not to excellent performance that one day. So the country has been rated internationally to be performing excellently in the fight against corruption for 6 years in a row. Based on data, not a positive feeling. Based on data. So, then they don't make Salon don't pass the control of corruption indicator for 6 years in a row and we don't qualify for the MCC. But beyond MCC, we don't validate, we say they are excellent people, them 70% throughout. We get Transparency International. Salon Mide 131. When President Bio become president, me, Francis Ben Kaifala, become commissioner. 131. We'll be there at the red zone. 6 years onward, Salon don't jump 20 places upwards in that ranking from 131 to 110. That's it, a miracle. So all entity I can continue. By the time I tell you about World Integrity Report and all entity where they show say we are doing well in the fight against corruption, like Thomas Sandy be say we're not going to do this press conference today. But I want to do. So all this they show say locally and internationally there is a validation of our work. We know the driver talk say we don't kill corruption. But waiting very crystal clear. Not that. Waiting what they do against corruption in Sierra Leone today. Better than any time in the history of Sierra Leone. And the results are there, the data are there, and the confirmation are there. Thank you very much, Mr. Sadi, for the short time we give me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, when I see the energy we demand to talk with her, that the same energy we use for start this fight. But just quick one, Francis. I know say, like you say, question and for Boku, Ogo Kampa. But just quick updates. We be no say obviously after the COI, then be recommend some investigations then for be done. for Dr. Samua Kama, former President Koma. We get any updates on that before we open any questions? Because we get some questions that we get for answer. Yeah. But these are just general updates. No, if you get any updates.
Are they here today for answer all the
questions? Exactly. Yes.
But me and my colleague, them, the journalists, them, we get for also get a good time tomorrow on ACC. This is not the beginning. Because yeah, we get other people there. Look, my good friend David Bobo, they all get for answer. So do you will not dominate the podium? But indeed, the COIB recommends, say, some of the residual issues them inside the COI investigation. They say they're not going to make decision on them. And that issue go to the competent body, we get the authority for look into them and let them look into them afresh and where possible take action. So they may refer many issues to we, not just the issue of Dr. Samura Malti Wisin Kamara and Dr. Anes Baikroma. But they are the high profile one the way everybody interested in. But if you get any question on the other one, you always answer them. So then through the day, remember, say sometime in December, we'll be invited there or two on separate dates. They all come on the commission. We ask the questions, then based on the COI findings, and then give answers. In fact, Dr. Anes Baikroma going to ACC twice in December alone. And the same thing for Dr. Samura Matthew Wisin Kamara. So they all don't make statements. We review the statements, then now we try for check in line with the COI findings. Waiting at the next steps we'll be able to take and we'll go update the public once we take that decision. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Francis. So now we can go to OGP. Now, people don't go on for no waiting at OGP. Like give a small background on OGP, and also they work with boku agencies, of course, for accountability and transparency issues. For also, may tell we the commitments them we they work on now and how far on they.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Good afternoon, everybody. Asidoya, I represent the Chairman, National Council for Civic Education and Democracy. Mina Hana Amida Jimmy, the Open Government Partnership Coordinator. When we talk about open government partnership, this is something where countries then they ascribe to. So some years ago, Sierra Leone began to meet the criteria. Waiting at the criteria, we talk about fiscal transparency. Then at the money business na the country, how governments they make them transparent and open to citizens then. We talk about income and assets disclosure. Initially, when we start income and assets disclosure, it be just there for high profile people then. But thank God, so we commissioner, today it don't make us say everybody where they receive money from consolidated funds for ensure say it declare income and assets. So then they don't make we don't go up another notch na the OGP arena. We also talk about citizens engagement. This na the way we see this government they do very, very strong. For everything, they make sure say citizens they involved, whether not for take the decision, whether not the project in the starting, implementation, and also for let una follow up with questions then. The final one are access to information. When Sierra Leone passes this into an act of parliament, automatically we become qualified. But then when you meet certain criteria, it don't mean say because you don't meet the criteria, you don't join, you forget about them. Before they make progress on them every year. So over 10 years now, Salon don't they insert this open government partnership. For the open government partnership, you get things the way that they do. One, the first thing what they do, they make sure say we get this kind of engagement, inside civil society and governments they come and then form a steering committee. This they comprise equal representation from governments and civil society. Civil society did it for make sure say then bring out the issues then. And help governments for identify outside gaps then they. Then governments they agree with civil society and then form commitments then. Then their commitments they also now the National Action Plan. Their commitments they also all the around 5 big things the way the OGP they look at. One, now effective management of public resources. Governments they create reforms around them in there. 2, You get increased public service delivery. We all don't see a very good news where the minister said which is for the bus system. Now an increase, it be already there, but increased public service delivery. We also talk about creating safer communities. This now for make sure say when we dey talk about access to justice, we dey talk about wetin dey make we community then be safer. And the final one now an increased public integrity. This dey tell you say anybody where they take big office make sure say he honest and he get integrity. So these are the values of OGP and the reforms the world they create if they around them 5 grand challenges. When we don't get this, we look at them 5 grand challenges and then we develop commitments. But again, what's not them commitments here? Them commitments here are the two governments they implement. So now, as the minister rightly say, we work the cuts across all MDAs, ministries and agencies. And they work with them all. But not only MDAs, and need civil society and the media their voice. Because why are they here today? Now for telling about what we don't do, who side we don't reach, and waiting there for be on a role after today. Because una don't they part of this process now as I sit down and they talk about. They develop commitments then, and then commitments they are geared around reforms then. Reforms now changes then, or policy where governments go put together. Civil society they around for advocates around them. And also make sure say people are aware waiting and waiting government say. So this year, when we develop them commitments here, we get a timeline for implement them. 2 years. OGP say inside 2 years, governments for implementing commitments here. And after you don't implement them commitments here, 1 year into implementation, OGP Global, they send an independent researcher. Now they can ask questions. And when he asks questions, he foresee the evidence. What's not the evidence? If na acts of parliament, then foresee them. If na policies, then put in place. OGP foresee them documents, then they. If na consultation we say we do, then foresee them reports, then they. Then foresee pictures. All the one and then are evidence-based reporting. And then they put all that and they and put Salon at the map. And at the independence review mechanism, then they come after 1 year and also at the end. So as you done it 2 years, you continue again. So as every point in time, a country they implement a national action plan. So we just done with 4th national action plan last year, and we're in the process now for develop a 5th national action plan. But before I cancel a 5th national action plan, I need to tell you a small but with 4th national action plan. That 4th national action plan, it began 4 commitments then. When open parliament. And based on the reforms them and the things the way parliaments do for make sure say they open and engage citizens them. Now you see say parliaments get service charter. If you go to parliament, you see the ramp. The ramp now for people that will get physical disability or move around it. You see say now parliament debates, it always there on air. You see them and you get access to them. And now I should say anyone where they go to parliament, you see say where you reach now the entrance, then they ask you say, what's are your name, what you can do, who that you cancel, then I forget that data. You come out to open parliament, based on all waiting open parliaments do. Now this West Africa, Sierra Leone, the rates we parliaments as open, the rates are 3rd inside the ranking. We talk about access to justice. We look at reforms around access to justice. We look at boku thing away inside the justice system. Government don't put in place. Inside these past 2 years, we don't achieve them. We also talk about the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative. We talk about beneficial ownership. We get boku shell companies there. Other than they BNN shell companies then they. All ends here and the way government they put in place for support the fight against corruption. And the final one, now be open elections. So we get the independence review researcher we come. He can question people them around who side we don't reach before we start this snap 5. Last year, December, we get to consultations. But before we get to consultations, we know say the government gets in 5 priority areas then. And OGP know they walk away from governments. Now governments, OGP they support. So if you want for succeed in OGP, you know they go do your commitments and stand alone. Now governments they implement. So you walk around waiting at government in 5 priority areas then. So we, as the steering committee, we sit down first and align them 5 priority, the activities where they with them. We align them with the OGP in grand challenges them. And when we don't align them, we come to citizens and say, now we they can consult. This is not the government in 5 priority, and this is not the activities the way government say it they do. Waiting are the one the way una feel say OGP for add voice to. Then, apart from waiting governments don't say then they do, the top 5 priority. Waiting are the one the way they outside government in priority, where una feel say governments need for pay more attention to. So waiting are then commitments here where we come up with this time. We say we look at the youth employment scheme. Now one of the commitments where we get, we look at revamping the public sector architecture, where they talk about for establish a government delivery unit in the presidency with a coherent connection to smaller delivery units in the ministries. We also look at open parliament again. We say more day for let parliaments do. We look at extractive industries, transparency initiatives, and we also look at anti-corruption. We don't talk with anti-corruption because now we're in expert meetings. These are technical meetings, so don't get in grand one year so. But now we get for look at waiting at the specific actions that whether ministries, departments, agencies, they are there for do within these 2 years. So now we get small meetings the way they align some of their activities they are so waiting than they do. We get access to information and access to justice. But for more on this, I will encourage you, since I don't get much time, but I will encourage you for follow up on we NACSED website, www.nacsed.gov.sl. So una will be involved in the process, una help for advocates, una help for monitor the process. I thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. You see, we then say, waiting man can do, woman can do a more, and aha, thank you very much, Anna. The important thing we will take from what Anna say, now government in commitment. So whilst Francis don't say, but what ACC they do, will not stop there. We also committed and they support the OGP process. Now I make, in fact, like where Anna say, the 4th National Action Plan, they rate the parliament as the 3rd most open parliament. We mean something. So we mean say, even if you get ideas or you get thoughts about the parliament, but at least the parliament open, people see what in parliament they do, people understand what in parliament they do, and even you think about the ramp. Also very important as well, because we got to make sure say, even we citizens there, we company, we get disabilities, then say get access to the parliament. So I think say like Anna say, the NACID website there, forget more information of them things there, and then they work with civil society organizations them across board, and we know say they will continue to do their work there. For now, focus on NAC 5 and see when youth employment, when revamping the public sector, anti-corruption fed, transparency initiative the fed, access to information, boku thing the way they get for do. So we now go to the Maui, they look at the financial sector. Because the fight against corruption is across governance. So now brought in all sectors. And I don't talk now specifically on governance, and see, look on governance. But now we get somebody when the director na FIU, where instead of your work, now for look at what's in the happen in the financial sector, for make sure say transparency day, accountability day, thing and day where not they give the government or the country bad image, and people only use this country for do bad way campaign money business. So therefore, I go invite my own brother David Bobo for me also talk to you about what the FI they do, what are the big things that we don't do recently, and also what are the plans that we get as the director. So over to you, David. Now we know say initially ACC have investigated the corruption.
We do quite a lot as well for the police. So for this year, for the last year, now over 29 requests where the law enforcement agencies they make on the unit. We also get powers. Why is investigation they go on for disrupt the criminals? Because criminals then they carry on the trade because they want benefit from that illegal activities. So if we know, say, then investigate this person and the money in at the financial institution or at the banking sector, we get powers for let we make sure, say, let the bank say, when I hold on this money, when I not allow this person for withdraw, we're not going to stop you not for put the money, for the money do. We always stay at liberty for put any money in your account. But we also get powers for restrict that account temporarily pending investigation. So over the years, we don't disrupt a lot of activities of criminals through that. We also provide critical support to like the Commission of Inquiry. Before the commencement of the Commission of Inquiry, the FIU being critical for profile all the persons of interest. And that profile they be assist the Commission of Inquiry for do them work. We also they take a lead for coordinate with other stakeholders within the MSCFT regime for understand the landscape in terms of the risks for money laundering and waiting at some of the mitigating measures they will for put in place. So we don't do 2 national risk assessments. We do one in 2017, and recently we don't conclude the 2nd national risk assessment. Within that risk assessment, they help policymakers and they want them win a duty bearers within the MSCH regime. Now for no side the weaknesses and them in the system and within the need for do for plug them weaknesses and they so that we will get a robust AMSCFT regime. We also they do then they will call on strategic products where they guide policies for other agencies than the supervisory agencies. The typology and for sure how people they engage in certain crimes. We do one way we call the typology on precious metals and stones. That report they then read them, then we able to know whether they engage, how the money they pass. So that report they useful not only to like the enemy, it's useful to also the banks when eventually the gatekeepers when it comes to finances, and it also useful to the one day way the within the control side at the border in terms of smuggling. So these are some of the work they do, and we also I know say a lot of people then go on for say well what would I do about some of the things they already lately. We they pay attention to adverse media. Anytime we something we get a whole unit or division within the unit where they look at the media within they happen at the space. And we will see something, we will say a border on we mandate, would they look into them, would they ask the relevant questions to the people that we will say for giving answers. The recent one where everybody know, the super advertise, we understand say then they request the public for invest into a scheme where people then go make boku money, the returns on that investment is unbelievable. But this is not the first time we don't deal with anything. We don't go down this road before. We don't deal with my coin. We don't deal with other one them way I can wealth builders, you know. But people still continue for giving them the opportunity for let them take away the hard-earned money. Because Nikki always say responsible citizens, they help government for protect their property. The fact that because you know say police station there around here, no means say for left your room and do not open. You get the responsibility for protect yourself. So, but at the same thing they happen, people can fall for them bits then. And one thing we run through all of them one they don't deal with over the years, whether it be that my coin auction and bow, 20X Pro, all of them. Now one thing common, now Ponzi scheme, a scheme where the ability for deceive somebody and then buy into them cheap lies so that then you go invest your money. So when we get this wind of the operation of super advertising, and we don't say the two mobile money services are involved, we be try for engagement. Already we get a very good relationship with that sector there because we don't roll out with directives and guidelines to them, waiting a need for do for prevent criminals for abuse that platform there. And we do that rollout there in collaboration with NATCA, where then they supervise the technology end of things, as well as the central bank, when at the Bank of Australia. So we begin for engagement. And one of the things where we learn clearly is that the super advertisers itself, as an institution, not get any direct relationship with any one of them. They try for aggregate money in the name of investment through established agents for then companies there. That we learn. And then for talk about super advertisers a little bit, super advertisers they establish sometime in September where then acquire license.
So sorry, Bobo. Usa would they now part the super advertise business?
They can they well like just talk about it.
Because that's more people and get interest.
Yes.
All man know how them form super advertising. Now Usa then they now because you know say people are worried, they're anxious, but Usa then they now part super advertising.
No, I just want to clarify some misconception before I come to that.
All right. Okay.
Now, super advertisers then of course they register as a company with CAC. But there are certain activities where you want for undertaking at this country. It's not enough for let you get a certificate from Corporate Affairs Commission and then embark on the activity. Mining are one, financial services now other. So apart from the fact that you get certificate, we then register you as a business entity, you have the obligation for seek license from the competent authority. In the case of financial services, not the Bank of Australia. In this case, we finding shows say they don't ever even approach Bank of Australia, let alone they get license. So they don't get no business. And when you apply for license, we serve FIU, since we did part of that process there, because we do vetting of source of funds, we didn't know you, but whether it be a what you want to do at the system. In terms of who's now, when we realize it, then they use some agents them, through the agents and them with the aggregate funds. We go after the agents then they. And as we speak, 30 of the agents then they, then couple they who don't instruct them to mobile money services and they for freeze. And the total amount as we speak now about 3.4 million in the new loans or 3.4 billion in the old loans. And the ownership of super advertisers, that one Chinese get them. We don't get all that information there and we don't provide the intelligence to police. As we speak, police, then they work very hard to make sure so they trace the one the way they behind that business there. And so that we will be clear as to whose side we money then and then we will come back to the public for tell them what thing happen.
Thank you very much, David. I think now make if I forget, young man, we're competent, we're knowledgeable, we know what they talk about. And I know say I began first 5 minutes, but the reason we can extend because in fact, one question where we just get from online, where one we Paddy Lamrana Bar ask now on super advertise. So because you start super advertise, and also you don't answer that question because it's FB1 for no waiting the app now with super advertise. So now we go straight to questions. And then we go start with the questions them already. Then don't send already we don't send ahead before we can And then we're done, we go to the question that we una get for us because we always want to respect una we don't take on the time. Una don't can have for come attend and participate with this press conference. So for the question them, we go read the question them. This one, the starting first now from an unknown. We send this online. It say, can you categorically confirm that the former president is not in exile with all charges dropped? Are you confident that he will face a treason trial in Sierra Leone? I'll answer that question there. The second one from Dennis Gamanga from London. He say for FBK, Wayne Francis. Can you tell the nation at what stage ACC have investigated the corruption charges against the former president as recommended by the COI 2 or 3 years ago? I know so you go on probably for add small thing because you don't start already for answer Dandy. The third question are from Bendu. Bendu say, why does ACC always prioritize recovery when government officials are involved in corruption? The fourth question are Abdul Karim from Waterloo. He said the 50 new buses that will start operation in February, what prompted the decision to run them in Lumley and Kalbatong? Waterloo should be considered. Danny Sef, I will answer that question there as well. Then the fifth person are from Dr. Sylvia Olainka Blyden. We ask Boku question them, but as we always know, we go read them all and for make sure say whatever I ask, we respond to them as well because like we always don't say, we want to make sure, say, every citizen, regardless of who that you be, make this platform create that forum where you go ask questions, then go answer them for you. So we start with Dr. Sigablayan and question them. They say, how long does HE Madabio and ACC need to enlighten us on these textbook cases of international money laundering and abuse of office by former President Koma? One, is Francis Ben Kelfala a patriot? If so, how can he lead an ACC that is refusing to protect Sierra Leone by leaving serious money laundering issues unresolved? Second, if President Madabio government is composed of persons with required levels of patriotism and love for Sierra Leone, why are they exposing us to these dangers? Third, will ACC continue to be part of those holding sword of Damocles over Koma and by extension, exposing us all to instabilities, losses, killings, and much pains? I think is still connected to the former president. Also, since unilateral decision taken by HEBO to not make Koma account for criminal act, should information minister not now tell us content of the ether to secret deal? I will answer that question because the minister not there. Also, is BO government not reneging on duties by keeping evidence secret, thus creating major national security threats for us since a concerned Koma doesn't know this fate? Also, why is COI and government white paper reticent apart from their site of Lebanese tycoon Hessam Rad Icon, who got paid to build Koma homes from laundry account at UBA? Also, I want Francis Ben Kelfala to update us on the investigation into criminal money laundering that former President Koma did whilst he abused office. Also, did ACC investigate Koma's money laundering partner, Sampa Antonio Tosonigo Sampo Menizi? At least as some Chinese people, Samo Yu, Wing Jingshong, Sam King, Swing School. I think I've been also saying you, Francis. So, una permit me for the name the way where Sylvia puts there. Also, did S una wait? Like we don't say, we create this platform for people to ask questions. Now we duty for reading a question and make we respond to them. Did ACC work? Una hold on. Did ACC work with US Treasury since Koma's money laundering partner was designated on 17/4/2014 as a shadowy financier and banned from US bank system. I don't know who that shadowy possible they talk about. Also, how far as the BO SMPP government unravel mystery of the $3 million sent in Kuruma's laundry bank account, seemingly from Qatar, but without knowledge of the Qatari. Lastly, why has ACC government not acted on evidence of Kuruma's money laundering cash flows, bank account numbers, and monthly bank statement tendered to the Bankole Thompson COI? Dande na for the AC Commissioner. From Moses, we please request an update from the AC Commissioner regarding the investigation of the Clerk of Parliament and his wife. And then we go take this other one, last one from Amadou Lamranaba, where they not already answer the question on super advertise. And also if he asks about arrest, we don't talk about the arrest, but also he say one for no from the ACC Commissioner, what does he make of President Bio's statement that he will intervene into the issue in Parliament? And also if he's concerned about how the president will get involved, especially when the ACC is investigating the clerk. So I think that the question the one in there, let's just quickly start with this one we get for do with exile, not exile. Now, we know say on the 17th, last week, January, the lawyers them for former President Kuruma be going to court. They make application for make them continue the bill, for make them very in bail condition now on medical grounds. So as far as we know as a government, after the 17th, the Wednesday, we immediately call a press conference. We say no less a person than the Attorney General of this republic answer all questions them regarding the trials that we don't happen, the treason trials them update una, but specifically on the case where they are caught on the former president. At no point in time, we talk about exile. So as far as we concern about government, who's out there now, and the courts, we don't grant the application, and the former president don't take this other way the courts give for do the medical in Nigeria specifically, the court be say, and then on the 6th of March, 9 the courts don't say for make a return 9 they adjourn. Now, what do they say now this? We don't say as a government, we make sure say we transparent and we open on all things where we get for inform people. So therefore, we don't know about any exile. We only know say the matter again a court, and then on the 6th of March, the court don't order say the accused or the applicant, as in that case we made the application for make itself available and shortest them back there. We don't they for make sure say then they take place. We're not gonna comment waiting will happen on the 6th of March because we not go be hypothetical. Say if this happen or this not happen, we're not gonna comment on that one day. On the 6th of March, the government lawyers they're gonna court for make sure say we continue the treason trial. Then somebody also asked question on the before I come to Francis on the issue about the bosses. What to make for they not consider Waterloo. Now we know say initially the bosses the way we be they try for make we get now about 200. Where if that project they be continue, both side and forget. But because of this funding we will get with the World Bank, in fact, in total, this funding they cost $52 million. The $2 million now government own contribution. The $50 million are the grant we get from government. And as I don't read earlier, I don't say on the outside the corridor and go for the east and now the west. But we know say if we get more buses, we could definitely consider people away there as far as the Waterloo corridor and number 2 corridor. Because as a government, we also know say they get challenges with transportation. NIMEC would also try for engage private sector people. We get money from MedNSF, see how they go to support this with transport project. We also know say people and they send message on social media for they say each of them boss here then cost $1 million. That is also not true. The projects get Boku components them. One of the components them now for make them purchase them bus there. And because we're not transparent government, I'm gonna listen carefully to the cost where them boss their cost. Now, the project gets 6 different components. The first component, now for me them procure them boss there. Now under this, each cost of the boss now 119,000 US dollars. The cost of the 50 boss them in total now about 5.9 million US dollars. That means a 5,950,000 US dollars. 5,950,000 US dollars. Now for imports and other duties, them where them count the boss and then pay 1,547,000 US dollars. So the total cost of the buses and units of the bus, the total cost, the imports and the other duties that we then pay go up to 7,497,000 US dollars. So when we say now about 7.5 million US dollars the bus costs. So these are the figures them where the bus costs. Because we as a government want to make sure say everything is transparent. But you not stop there. This project also involve footbridges them way them don't make, they overhead them. We don't say then they lumbly to the joy, we don't see them all over, we don't say back then they will be force. They also cannot make bus stops them back. Part of this project back, now for more than do what they call road improvement along the west corridor. So no say again they do the road them, they rehabilitate. We also back don't see the street light the way they don't make, the traffic signalization, then traffic light them back we don't do. All the back of this project. Then also, this project, then they construct market and transit points for the transport of the buses, where they already are Lumbly. So if you go to Lumbly, you go to say, this multi-purpose park, where they can build, where they for host the market, and also the transit points for the buses. And this, not just the thing that way the inside on this project. So just for the one the way they go and write message or pass social media and say this bus costs 1 million each, that is not true. I don't want the breakdown of everything the bus then costs. And if we need any other information, we go available for make we answer them. So we come over to Francis, where I know say Sylvia give beaucoup question there, but I know say very capable for making answer them question and give people enough information for the one we can house. Francis.
Hello. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Sandy, for steering this process and also for bringing the questions, starting with the one from the dear brother Gamanga in the UK, where they ask the stage at which the COI recommendations in respect of Anes by Chroma Day. Now, one common misconception where the public get about COI now that they feel say the actual COI implementation and the Attorney General's office get up. So the actual case, the COI, when the white paper came out and the Attorney General act on them, and the Attorney General, the auspices, the COI day. The only one that we come to win are the one that the court specifically refer, or the COI itself specifically refer to ACC. And some of them, now the one that we, Dr. Anes by Kromade, and Tambora Matthews in Kamarade, and many other people them in the previous government. But I've already give update and talk, say yes, indeed, we don't interview them. And that interview now they under specific investigative scrutiny or decide waiting at the next steps. And then next steps then they can include prosecution, it can include recovery, it could include other factors. It can even include we ACC looking into the matter and saying that there is no case here. But at this stage, you don't reach that conclusion yet on any of them heading the day, and then but when we reach them, we'll specifically update the public. So somebody say, why does the ACC always partake in recovery when it comes to government officers? Firstly, that's not true. There are many cases in court. The ACC currently get 36 cases in court. And of them 36 cases in court, 12 of them reserved for judgment. And then 12 then they will reserve for judgment
include people them in the current government. So it is not factually correct. It is not data correct to say that the ACC always they prioritize recovery. No, in fact, when they prioritize prosecution, we'll get plenty of cases in court. The only thing the ACC now like a factory, the processing plant. You get a downstream end and you get an upstream end. The downstream end of the ACC processing plant is what happens at the ACC. When are the investigations, reaching conclusion and a decision whether to prosecute or recover. The upstream end of the ACC's processing plant, not entirely they in with control. The judiciary is not the ACC. And therefore, when we don't send cases to court, sometimes generally we know say the case they can take a while. And because sometimes they can take a while before the judiciary, sometimes they can clog up. And if they clog up and we continue for send cases and continue for send cases, the downstream end who say we mostly get power will become problematic. Because what is the point of sending 600 cases to court and you get only 2 judgments? The entire 2023, you only get 2 judgments from the judiciary. 2 judgments. Imagine me presiding over an ACC for 6 years and we continue to get judgment at the rate of 2 judgments per year. Therefore, because we know, say, the judiciary, they're self-constrained, sometimes things don't move fast, sometimes cases can be difficult, they are overburdened by cases, a lot of constraints than the way that they get. I don't send all kind of letters to the judiciary, reminding them to give judgment in our cases, to move with our cases. But sometimes generally they themselves are overburdened. In that case, we can look at certain cases there and say, look, let's recover. Let us cut the country's loss. Many cases, if you remember back in 2017, Sierra Leone began a fortune of a very good anti-corruption commissioner once, Abdul Jankun. He charged many cases to court. At trial, most of these cases, there were judgments. They find the people they're guilty. But what end up happening? All the cases that they crumble on appeal. All of them were overthrown. Hafsatu Kabar, there was the Director General of National Revenue Authority. I can list all of them. They crumbled. The country lost twice. The country lost the money that was involved in those cases that those people may have embezzled. Today, nobody not get up. The country lost by sending good money after bad money by prosecuting those people. And the country lost everything. None of them were found guilty, particularly on appeal. Therefore, the judiciary don't reform over the years. They don't reform. When Justice Babatunde Edwards was Chief Justice, he was a fantastic person when it comes to anti-corruption cases. He set up the anti-corruption, the special division of the anti-corruption court. He appointed special judges to deal with our cases. He was very, whenever I call him for our cases, he was very willing to take action on them. And then we started getting judgments. We started getting 17 judgments, 18 judgments, 19 judgments. And we ratings went high because in 90% of their cases, then they will be the win. But nobody wins it all, will be the loss some, which is fair. Because not to prosecute to the prosecute, not prosecute to the prosecute. But then, in the years leading to the election, we can find out, say, the judiciary in output with the cases were not as we want it to be. And there's a club. 36 cases in court, 12 reserved for judgment, some don't be reserved for over 1 year for judgment. It's a problem. So in the downstream end of the anti-corruption cases production plant, if we say we continue for just send every case where they come to the judiciary, then something is clearly wrong with us. But they argue with power for look at certain cases and say, this one, let we recover. Let we not go to court because the court, they already get too many cases before them and we are not getting the outcome we want as fast as we can. And I can tell you this, and I repeat, I don't talk from I become anti-corruption commissioner and I stand by them today. The strength of the fight against corruption does not lie in what another person can do. The strength of the fight against corruption lies in what the institution that fights corruption can do. So, if we don't charge many cases to court and then cases then they go on before the court, and there are over 36 of them, you can go and verify. Also, we get another option for recover. Or take money from them. For example, let me give you now an example. This case will start to investigate recently concerning SLRA, where about 4.3 billion was diverted by the finance officer at SLRA working in conjunction with some people in the Ministry of Finance. Now, the case don't start. All of them were arrested and taken to the commission. The first thing we did was to say, we now will take that money there. We not get problem with now. We investigate for charge now to court. But before we get bail, the first thing we have to do is to return all that money. As I sit with you here today, those people have returned to the ACC. The money is locked right now in my office. 4.3 billion loans. It's in my office. Now, since the days of Milty Magai, to Shaka Stevens, to J.S. Momon, to Ahmed Jankaba, when somebody don't thief 1 billion loans that this country bring and come back. Oh, now when a journalist in there, anybody don't remember a case where somebody has stolen even 1 billion loans and brought it back? In this period, we don't recover over 65 billion euros cash from the corrupt and return to the country. And that not include what you again at my office right now, when are nearly 4.3 billion euros. But yet, we are putting in all this effort, billions of euros recovered. When Salon reached that stage, there were people that they take money, they bring and come back. We were all here. It's not happening. In 2018, when I was appointed commissioner, I was shocked. The judiciary, the entire recovery for the year by the judiciary was 131 million euros in fines. But in one case, just the Hajakala case, we recovered 3.2 billion euros. One case. By the time the year ended, we recovered over 15 billion euros. But as a country, we have to know what our priorities are. And when we do that recovery, we not try for talk say the people they not do corruption. No. And we not try for talk say other consequences not for befall them. Some of them will still charge them to court. But the narrative around it has been that the only thing where the ACC they do now for take money no more from people is not true. We they recover and we they prosecute. We they recover and they recommend to some of them people they have lost their office. We they recover and punish. So as we discuss the issues of recovery, let we also get that in mind for say, it is not just recovery that the ACC does, we also prosecute and we take other action. Pa, you can give me small time because I know if you reach to the 21 questions of Sylvia Blyden.
So now I make go straight away.
Thank you.
And then also this issue about class.
All right, let me now come to Sylvia Blyden in 21 questions. Dr. Sylvia Blyden don't list out a lot of things which she claims to be factual about money laundering allegations against former President Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma. Now, I don't know who says Sylvia Blyden get the facts from, but some of them were contained in the COI findings. And we served on the investigate money laundering case which involved former President Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma. But money laundering is a very complex issue. My brother David Bobo is here. In fact, the investigation into Ernest Koroma in money laundering allegation, now we are FIU that do them. Okay? And many of the issues then we don't uncover them. But then they not see where they rush by. It's not like Sylvia Blyden sitting down using her keyboard to type things. This is a professional work. Instead of talk say the issues that involve the state of Qatar, some of them involve Malaysia, it don't refer to Chinese swindler Sampa, it don't call all kinds of people. These are not things you can just put together and wake up in the morning and charge somebody to court. You have to check everything and be sure. So we don't indeed investigate. And we get a lot of facts and evidence available to we. David Bobo is here, he knows. But the only thing we have to talk now is that when we reach the decision where we are to indict and take the case to court, we inform the public. But at this stage, the investigation is ongoing. Update on the clerk of parliament. Mr. Sadi, patient. Me and the press today, we have a date. And they want to hear about the clerk of parliament, not so? Now, the allegations surrounding Mr. Parantarali and the wife come to our attention on the 5th of January, 2024. Immediately, we invited them to the commission, both husband and wife. We asked them, say, Pa, now true say you recruit your wife now the commission. He said, not to me recruiter. He said, but not true say he work at parliament. We say, okay, but now you're not the head of parliament, not so. Administratively, he say yes. So we tell her, say, look, the preliminary evidence we get now show say there is a clear situation. We know they say there is, we say there is evidence of. Now let me say something they will show say, if we look into this one here, small conflict of interest good day. Because you're not clerk of parliament, you get enormous authority in parliament. No law no talk say you cannot recruit your wife. No law no talk say you cannot recruit your brother. But what in the law of Sierra Leone say, if you then in a position where you are capable of exerting influence on that process, you they express them in writing. You they write and talk to the coming anti-corruption commissioner at the right and say, I, Francis Ben Kaifala, Madam XYZ is my wife. And because she is my wife and she has applied for a job at ACC, I am disclosing that she's my wife and I am removing myself from the process. And as long as I have removed myself from the process, if the people who are to determine whether she is qualified and capable of working in parliament so decide, I have no business is there. Like Pontius Pilate, you wash your hands clean in public. But if you do not do that, then it is possible that there is conflict of interest. And I remember I was in the US. I personally had a telephone conversation with Mr. Parantarawali, who told me clearly that he understands that he did not know these things. He was not aware of these rules that I am explaining, but he can confirm that his wife did work in parliament, but he personally did not recruit her. Okay, so that is the first strand. And so I said, okay, now that you have confirmed that your wife worked in parliament, number one, bring the money. Every money that she has been paid from parliament. Let us first have it in our offices where we are now having the conversation whether or not you knew or you did not know. And that is the only way she's going home. So as a bail condition, Mr. Parantarali and his wife scrambled and they came with 131 million euros. At that time, we had calculated that she worked for about 10 months. And that is what he told me. And that is what he told our investigators. But when we now investigated from the Accountant General's office, we found out that she has worked for 19 months. So we have calculated 19 months to be 151 million euros and asked them to pay. That payment is not absolving anybody of liability and responsibility. Like I have said, my own duty, the first thing as anti-corruption commissioner is to protect the resources of this country. I get the money, I put it down, and we continue now the conversation as to what is going to happen to you. So if you say you did not know, you were not aware, you did not recruit, in fact, she was recruited by a gentleman called Cham, we have taken a statement from Mr. Cham yesterday. We have spoken to other finance people. We've spoken to the Accountant General's office. So we have not reached a conclusion. Nobody has said anything about the outcome of that case from the ACC perspective. What has happened is the public has been playing it, presenting it that the ACC has said parenterally has done nothing. But some people, I read an article yesterday from Andrew Kiley. I have a lot of respect for Andrew Kiley. But that article is very intellectually dishonest. Because he's trying to say, because parenterally recruited his wife, corruption is now everywhere in Sierra Leone, there's impunity everywhere. Nothing can be more untrue than that. In fact, if you are saying that about a person who is already under investigation, what does accountability mean? The man is already being investigated by the commission, and you are saying that there is impunity everywhere. How can Andrew Kiley write that? It was not a very honest position by an intellectual. And as a country, we have to understand that we have to approach issues like this from a point of view of honesty. When we started, I gave you the data. That Sierra Leone is at its best position ever in the history of Sierra Leone when it comes to accountability. How did we get there? We did not get there because we have said corruption is over in Sierra Leone and it's finished, it's done and settled. We got there because of what we are doing about it. And this government is very serious about it. They have empowered the commission and we are continuing to do our work. So let me make it clear here that Mr. Parantrali and his wife are under investigation, that they have paid back the money that we had calculated they were owed. We have now found out that it was 19 million euros. Yesterday, I told Parantrali and my wife to bring the balance to about 21 million euros. Once we have the 21 million euros, we are now going to consider what happened in that circumstance. The other issue I have to clarify. The other issue I need to clarify, sorry, sir. Now, this Harvard business owner send me. The other thing I have to clarify, we operate with law, and a lot of people that don't write all kinds of things in the public, journalists, intellectuals, presenting something we're not correct. They say ACC will start case against people that will pull them out of office, but when it comes to power of office, because the powerful man, the SLPP man will not pull an office. Now, again, the one that they write down one day, many people they don't know the law, so I can now for present the law to them and for clarify certain things around that. The ACC not get power for remove somebody in the office who they investigate. Section 134 of the Anti-Corruption Act read as follows. A public officer who is charged with corruption or economic crime shall be suspended at half pay with effect from the date of the charge. Which means we for don't charge the person to court. We for don't sign indictment and can't go to court. For say you don't commit crime, let the court go answer. Then at that 10 day now the ACC they say you for come on office. But before we do that, like in this parent case, why would they just investigate now? We don't get power, sir. It don't mean that the people that were administratively responsible for the institution where the investigation will go on, no go do that by themselves. But this time way how the public, they say that the ACC, they be favorative, they left parent, it is not true. And then they use the case of Aisha Johansson for justify this allegation against me. Let me again make something clear. Aisha Johansson was charged to court 1 year before I became commissioner. 1 year before I become commissioner. Why I become commissioner, I can't meet this indictment before the table. And I look and say, but there is a provision which says if somebody don't be charged to court, they're not supposed to enter the office. And Aisha Johansson has been charged 1 year ago by Adi Macaulay. Therefore, in accordance with this law, I say, Madam Aisha Johansson, you get for come on at this office, man. When the case don't done at court, you can go back. But people are not use that thing they will do against Adi Macaulay and say, when I be Aisha Johansson and give all kinds of explanations, say, we decide for go after her for pull an office. No, ma, we not decide for go after her for pull an office. Now the law go after her for pull an office. And this law not invoke yet because the trigger is that it will be charged to court. Thank you very much, Mr. Sandy, for the time for clarifying all the issues there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I hope say this go don't give adequate information even when we come to the question time. Because I know say beaucoup question and they will not get for ask, will be one border on that one day. And now I just also want to say, because we committed to this fight for accountability and transparency, normally, Commissioner, we press conference, we don't make commitment for done 3:30. But we extend the time. So we'll give them one them with the inside, we don't come, we don't left all side then they for come for make sure say then back ask question. Now just last comment before I just open the floor on I'm gonna ask a question about President Bureau in comment with the MPs them. Now obviously you gonna say when issues then they come up in parliament, not one issue no more. So President Bureau interaction with members of parliament can border on boku them on party issue, on operations of parliament, on how the party they do with legislations, and constant engagement during the day. So when President Bureau say he go intervene for talk on issues where they border with the MPs them, you know, they talk about Parani matter. Because Parani matter already, like Francis say, the agency they investigate. And ACC now the body where the law don't give power for investigates matters them of that nature day. So just for clarity, when President Bio talk to the MPs them, where if they engage them, you know, be actually talk about Parani matter say go intervene on that one day. There are many issues that way we MPs them don't raise with the leader of the party. When they represent in parliament, we are not say it will get for talk to them at leadership level or also at MPs level as well. So now we can open for questions. So question time. If Commissioner don't answer your question, and this the expose, what will be the secondary school? They speak L and D, so they say expose. Waiting the Commissioner don't do so. If you don't answer your question, you are a big at the big. No, ask again. Ask different question, yeah? Okay. So we start from the front, the woman with the glasses. And then we resident man, yeah? Mr. Kama, eh? And then the lady, Seth. And then the other man with the white, and then the yellow. So they start with them 5 year. So we start with the woman with the glasses. Yeah, we all know the ground rules. And one question, we know no commentary, we know no introduction, yeah? Okay, carry on. You name and your question.
Iris Bangura, Epic Radio. So from the last ACC press conference we attend, the commissioner BDC Maritime Administration are one of the institutions that we notorious for corruption. In these instances, what needs to be done? I mean, if lessons are not taught, you go continue for the DOAM and you think it's something right that needs to be done. So for avoid you, because in every Auditor General's report, Maritime Administration, they be found for corruption. So what are you going to do to prevent such? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Epic Radio Maritime. Yes. Okay, let's start from the man with the yellow. So they come up, yes.
Yeah, my name is Augustine. I report for Heritage newspaper.
Heritage?
Yeah, Heritage. Well, I asked a question about Paranda in Uma. So when they do that, way
people. Say again, I will push the mic, come on here, you must, because it blow you. Yeah.
Okay, now who spoke Paranda in Uma? That was position. They asked.
Okay, whose position in the whole parliament? All right. Okay, yes. The next married near you?
Yes, Assam Bishekuma, Concord Times. Mr. Commissioner, 6 years down the line, one for get data, one for know how many convictions the commission don't get in a court and how many discharge.
All right, so conviction and discharge. Yes. Hasane? All right, yeah.
Godfrey Nakamara, Sky Radio. Mr. Commissioner, sir, ASQ Joseph Kapoa was allegedly
talk you
okay. They allegedly Joseph Kapoa for embezzlement for for money for development of SLBC. So is there any investigation about that?
All right. So, Mr. Kamara, we are the last man for this set.
Mohammed Kamara, the watch and Zankara, the sweeper. Mr. Bobo, the word intelligence, financial intelligence unit, to me, it means to say, we have to be proactive for giving information before the acts. May not be reported at the Commission of Inquiry. And I can't find out for say, and even will get documents of say, hundreds of millions of dollars that have been put on this country, just like Bikodi, to be blind in talk, you go. That said, you not be in our office. Whose labs is where the financial intelligence unit to be get during the time where people say, you don't see them, what you going to do for that don't happen again? Because we get, for example, I'll give you an example. We investigated a case wherein the former commissioner of NRA, he got 3 banks and a lawyer bank in London, each and every one get 12 million pounds sterling. The money where people say the free salon need today if we begin in a salon. What's in the state of family financial intelligence at the time? Was this conspiratorial or what? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, yes, we all say Mr. Kamara, now your resident manager. Now, we get 5 questions, 4 now for Commissioner, 1 now for Bobo. So, Commissioner, just a reminder, maritime position held, ASAN data, and then Godfrey, right? All right, on Kapua.
So just straightforward, maritime, remember I said in that press conference, I'll be talking and say most of the issues border on 2 things. Administration, that means the people the way they administer for do better. And 2, supervision. The one the way they supervise them supposed to do more or make sure so they do their work. So, but when it comes to the corruption allegations, that we will work now for investigate, to the continue for investigate, and for recommend actions that will go improve the place. What work was done? The work, straightforward question. She was employed as HR officer, sir. HR officer, human resource officer at Parliament. That is what she was employed for. 6 years down the line, how many convictions? I don't go give you the exact data, but I can tell you, say, over the years, some years we get 16 convictions, 17 convictions, 18 convictions. The only time where the conviction don't plummet very seriously was 2023. We observe that because the elections, they come, and they go improve now. So we work with the judiciary for make sure so the prosecution and conviction rates improve. But we also get about 86% conviction rate and about 14% failure rate. So balance that. But if you need more information on that, you can go on the website www.anticorruption.gov, or you can speak to Mr. Sandi. Mr. Sandi, please stand up, let them see you. Mr. Sandi, that's the famous Mr. Sandi who will answer all your questions that you have if I cannot answer them here. Then, of course, the Kapua case. Madam, the Kapua case, we don't completely investigate them, thoroughly investigate them. And one of the recommendations where we sent to the Minister of Information for the attention of the President now that if we change leadership na SLBC. Because we find out, say, the problem at SLBC was not really that kind of corruption like the one where they talk with the 2.7 billion euros. Now be administrative lapses. So we find out, say, if there is a new leadership with a new vision and impetus working with the people there, they will able to reform the place working with we for make the place better. So now that recommendation they now will make to the minister, and I'm not saying that they make the change. But I believe, say, it play a role, and I'll not be surprised why I say they don't move the gentleman where they head the place to another place so that a new leadership could come under a lady. Well, I think that a few issues. Thank you very much.
Bobo, just before you answer, person also, Usman Osfield be asked about, just if you have information, it be asked the new bank switch system with a launch. How will they able help for monitor commercial banks, retail banks? So I don't know if you have information. In addition to waiting the ask about lapses now, for you from Mr. Kamar. All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed Kamara, the resident journalist. I agree with you that the unit, if we really do work proper one, we get for be proactive so that we will help foresee something then even before something go wrong. The thing is, I did talk about when I take over the leadership of the FIU. I don't want for subject the institution to any assessment before me coming. But when I come in as an expert in that field, I see certain things been lacking as an institution, and I've been also they work with me oversight committee how we able to address some of them. One of the things that we get for tailor the fight with respect to the risk where the country face. And I tell you now about the national risk assessment we don't conduct in 2017 as well as in 2023. So we use that document that say the national risk assessment should say corruption is high in terms of predicate offense. So how do we monitor politically exposed person? The first requirement we are put in place now for ensure say banks then report separately on politically exposed persons, so that we see say waiting we perhaps then they do within the financial sector space. That are one of the reforms they will that. Then one of the things that the handicap with for reach out to the global network. Now the fact that we are not member of Egmont. Egmont now the group of FIUs we don't meet the minimum standard, and when they admit you into that network, they be able to share information with you. And for example, like how I-24/7 they work with the police, where you need for know about somebody, you just put another network there, then they can take action and provide you the information. Now, one of the shortcomings that they will be get about even the COI, because we don't know who has some of the money then they. We know we suspect say some people that go don't take the money outside of this country, but sometimes it's difficult for late trace who side that money they. But when you become member of that group, they then say go able to assist you so that you get a bigger you get bigger look into the space, not only your own financial sector, but other financial sector in the country. So, but we make progress on that. We application to Egmont, they at an advanced stage. We get 2 mentors where they assist we, Ghana and Nigeria, and that they are sponsoring us for we get our membership day. The only thing now we left, they don't assess we in terms of operational effectiveness, they don't assess we in terms of the legal framework. Part of the need for we review the law. I've been telling us here we currently repeal and replace the AML, the 2012 Act, to a new act. Part of the reason why we embark on that review day and the repeal of that act, now for make sure say let we take on board the advice of the mentors for review certain provisions that the law. We go give we access for become member of Egmont. I believe say with that reform, we're not going to be business as usual. Thank you. Okay, so the switch development, indeed, we currently they also discuss with the Bank of Sierra Leone and with the support of the World Bank for let us get a space for able the look what's in the happen at the switch. But that didn't happen it, and I'm not going to talk about the current position. I will left Danny for the central bank for take that. Thank you.
So this is not the last set we will take now. So wait till I go do I take 3 now, and then 3 now. Last set. All right. So yes, madam, you first. Second, and then third. All right. So no, I need to take with possibility again. So the Maui now, yes, you with it before. You always don't ask question, giving new people a chance. You as well. And then Bianyanda, yes. All right. Okay. Let's start with the yes.
Good afternoon all. Name na Adamanu Jalo. I'm a student na Fobe College. The question I was asking about what team this said about the super adverts and then their own investigation. And in fine, so like after the investigation, the people that we don't like losses from this then get a refund from them because like as the because we know say like just like in Salesforce, there are people that don't they like the my coin or loan and I but than the my coin. But with people and we don't see say why make more people and join these super advanced, and because of maybe not too much of engagement in job or that thing. Somebody can tell you say now
All
I
right.
give
Okay.
you
So they ask if refunds,
so,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So
Refunds. Bobo, refunds. Yeah. Thank you very much, madam. Yes. Yes, the man, gentleman with him up here.
Mina Bokari Kama, I dey write for the New Storm newspaper. This now for the ACC. I want to know the cases them way can go na court. Waiting government can lost, waiting case then they can they na court, and how long the duration where they can take, waiting at the lost to government. Then, Mr. Minister.
No.
Please,
One question.
please,
No.
not a question, now just concern.
Okay.
For we dey inside this wall, you dey tell we say we for ask one question. Somebody they outside they ask 21 question. Why?
Okay. All right. I go answer that. I go answer that. Yes. I go answer that. Yes.
Yes. My name Bobodan Kamara. I write for New Citizen newspaper. A question for Madam Jimmy. So basically, when they talk about the fourth national action plan, I see the issue of open election. I don't know if it's slip off, but delve into that. So I go if waiting on our assessment on 2023 election. Don't Mr. Bobo.
No. One.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir. This is more like say at the right for the eminent newspaper. This question will go to the commissioner, sir.
Yeah.
In 2018, the commission promised the people of Salusi the money they recover and use and complete a diagnostic center. Of course, almost 6 years down the line, we don't see anything. So one know within the going forward for the money they recover.
I'm sign Fuller Forum. So this one they go to Mr. Bobo. I know say when they deal with these guys super advertise. But now we get the landlords and then now we now QNets. So then the border they continue that way around. So I don't know how now they felt these guys. Or it's a small ball QNet. Some man go say these guys are illegal. Some man say they're legal ABC. So tell us small ball QNet, please.
Yes, I think there is Fearman. Yes.
Hello, good afternoon to everyone. My name is Abdraman Ba. I'm from the French media, Europe Afrique magazine, based in Bruxelles. Nearly we're trying to settle here. Honorable Minister, sorry, my English is not clear. I'm managing to talk English. Honorable Minister, sir, what are the process and the procedure for outstanding Sierra Leone media professional in Francophone countries to come and contribute in the information and the civic education? Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. So thank you very much for all the one that we ask question. Now, before Commissioner Kalisa, on the issue about the questioning, we all know say when we can put the flyers them out, we get codes that they put. They give people a preference where they ask question from outside for more than one. We've always done that. Dr. Blyden, not a specific case. Okay, now the advantage and the put the QR code. So if you ask question online or before we can answer, you can always ask more than one. We can read. In fact, we can read all your questions the way you ask for me to respond. But once you desire, the rule will always don't abide by now one question because you desire for people other chance them for ask other question. Now. We'll start with Anna. Somebody asks question on OGP, and then we also get question for super advertise too. And then Francis also we get question for you on the ACC front from Bokari and few other and the cases as well. So Anna.
Thank you for that question. I mean, they feel semi presentation so good that I no get no question. I just smile. I say everybody understand the presentation. Well done. Anyway. When I say we get commitments, then commitments are at the topic. Then you get action points where the MDAs they implement. So we began a commitment on open, free, fair elections. Then this commitment, it gets specific milestones. The milestones and activities there where the commission for before the elections. So one, we talk about elections management body. We all know say the commission be set up election management body. There's the gets integrity committee, not also after the integrity committee, they also get the publication of voter registration. This then do before the elections. So all man don't register, then they be there online before the election. So these are just few of the activities the way the ECSL be do before the activities where we agree on as an as OGP. And I should say this na my last thing I go say before the minister take the mic na me hand. I just want to tell you na say, based on what we do, this OGP then gets the Global Steering Committee, and it open now for civil society then for apply for being member of that OGP Global Steering Committee. So for Salon, we don't get one the civil society when a currently member of the Sierra Leone OGP Steering Committee and a civil society person, they don't apply for them. And when the voting get for open, I get for ask the minister for make una go support and vote for them online. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David.
Thank you very much, Madam Jallo. We asked about the super advertise, and in concern is whether we get for restore the damage, we the one that we invest so far. I will tell you, say, if too early for tell you something definitive with respect to that, but I will give you the one relating to my coin where you mentioned. When they issue my coin, just like how super advertise the do the business, they don't take license. So we've been getting advice for we able to use the money. Part of that money will be, let's say will be free some money, about 6 billion at that time. For we fall on that money, they will get for go through the court process because this is a country of law. So we go to court, and then the court being able to appoint a liquidator. The liquidator make an assessment of the claims on the scheme where they be run, and then the court been direct the liquidator for then use the money for make payment. As it stands now on that matter, they don't make payment to 430. 400 apologies for the break. I don't want to over 400, yes, but I think I get the figure somewhere. 424 of verified claimants. Yeah, so probably this will follow the same pattern. This is a country of law. We not go just take that money. We don't freeze with the with free money and orange money and say who the pay. Who go pay? We need for know whether they get legitimate claim on the scheme, and then the court would now direct to say, when I go ahead and pay the people here. So now so it can work up. So it can take time. But my advice to people them is that I want to as journalists, let we educate with people them. We don't go down this road before. For so many other schemes that don't kind of fool with people then take the money. Let we educate them. Let people ask the hard questions. You can do this business. Which institution give you license for doing? As I say, for other business, if you want to sell then common provisions, you can just go register as a business, then you go open your business. But for financial service, mine's strategic sectors, and they for let you begin operating, you get for require a license and somebody get for monitor you for that purpose. So let we also pass that information. The other one, the QNet, yes. So quick one on QNet. QNet we be done we work on that more than 2 years ago, and we don't pass the information to the police and transnational organized crime. They work on that, and the position was that we for actually even ban QNet for operating at this country, because just like super advertisers, they don't get license for undertake financial services. But then the full people then say they can do anything for them at this world. They will take the overseas, then get business where they will come, then get online marketing, all of them to them. So let we help for educate with people then. That cheap way they lost the hard-earned money, they're not good, and it's a responsibility for we all. Yeah, thank you.
Francis, 2 minutes, Commissioner.
Yes, Bokari, they ask the cases where they go to court, with the cost to government. On average, every case will they charge to court. None of the simple one, not the complex one. Every case will they charge to court. it cost this government an average of 45 million euros. And that includes the payment to the pay prosecutors them, the cost of investigation, and the cost of prosecution, 45 million euros. Somebody else, they asked, for 2018, they say we'll be build diagnosis center. Yes, indeed. We give ACC recover, we give money to government, and the president they make promise that they will build a diagnostic facility. And no say there was some work going on at Kerry Town. So I don't know what's not the status of that, because really that you know we own control now. We own control only they at the stage of recovery and handing over to government, and now the executive they take control of that. So if I get further questions on that, I kindly ask Mr. Keketoma Sandi, he will give you an update. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think we will get updates on the diagnostic center from the Ministry of Health. We are not saying that they may lead that process day. Now, so we end this press conference. I have to tell now all thank you, because I know say we almost don't do 2 hours today. We add extra 30 minutes. And until we meet next week, I want for wish una all the best and una continue for stay glued to the Ministry of Information and Civic Education. Thank you very much.
Contact Shex Production for all your video coverages, video promos, advertisement, flyers, interviews and video editing. Shex Production, Holland.
Hello, mi famulem, na baba check dependa in political clean.
It's not jet up, music production. I say this program you because you didn't entertain you. This program had you from you. You didn't entertain you. Program had you from you. What is it where they happen now we come. Baba check what is it happening where they go on we come. Baba check just entertain. Follow wake up. I say this program down tonight. It entertainment from you. Baba keep down tonight. It entertainment. Lord and kid. And the program waiting from you.
Yeah.